and welcome to another episode of PodcastDX, the show that brings you interviews with people just like you whose lives were forever changed by a medical diagnosis. I'm Lita.
And I'm Ron.
And I'm Jean Marie.
I guess I'm squeaky, too.
Yeah, and I can't hear you on my headphones.
I'm a little squeaky. Collectively, we're the hosts of PodcastDX. On today's show, we're speaking with Asiya Rafiq. Asiya is joining us today from Abu Dhabi. She studied psychology and sociology and is certified in applied behavioral analysis. Last year, she began volunteering with the Special Olympics in the United Arab Emirates. Asiya owned her own advertising agency and is now designing adaptive clothing for those living with disabilities. Great job. I applaud you for that. She also has an interest in film making, especially short films with a focus on social change. She recently completed her first film about one-parent families. Welcome to the show, Asiya.
Hi, Asiya.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining us. I think I'll start us off. How did you go from owning an advertising company in India to designing adaptive clothing in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I'm born from Kashmir, India. I used to own my ad agency in India before I got married. After marriage, we shifted to UAE, and I had to stop my agency back home.
Okay.
So in UAE, as my son was very young, and I had to give all my attention to him. So I got very little time in which, I used to do volunteer work for Special Olympics. But I came in contact with people of determination and the difficulties actually they were facing day-to-day life. And it was, as you know, that they are most neglected group when it comes to fashion choices. So even in little things like put on their daily clothes or trying with their shoelaces, they need help, which sometimes is very tedious and cumbersome. So as well as for their caregivers also. So I thought in my free time, why not to venture this field and make some adaptive wear for them, so which shall ease their problem. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Can you tell us about your first adaptive design?
Yeah, my first adaptive design was adaptive abaya. So abaya is actually a full-length outer garment worn by some Muslim woman. So so it was like an abaya for a girl who was paralyzed neck down. So she had difficulties wearing normal abayas, so normal full outer garments. So she required a lot of help from her caregivers. So I easily felt like to do some easy zippers working on her abaya with open back design. So she could wear it in sitting position. So with little help of her caretaker. And I made it little appeasing to the eye so that she likes to wear it. Yes.
Oh, sure.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, you just explained what an abaya is, and that in the Muslim tradition, I guess, takes care of the requirement for being modestly dressed. Is that correct?
Exactly. So more of the Muslim ladies, they do not wear some peeling clothes, so they usually feel like to cover their bodies. So usually in Muslim countries, so when they're sitting even on the wheelchair or any kind of a sitting position, they would love to have fully covered dresses. So this abaya is like that.
Okay. Sure. And they're also very loose fitting, correct? There is no tight fitting clothing?
Loose fitting. Exactly. They should be not too much tight to the body also. It should be loose. It should be comfortable, yeah.
Okay. Are there any requirements as far as decoration or design on the clothing material? Can you use like a pattern on the fabric, or do you have to use a plain color?
It depends on clients to clients. Some clients, they love to play with colors. They want some pockets on the front to ease their the things, whatever they want to keep. And for the daily uses when they're going out for the shopping or something, cell phone or any of their, usable things. So it depends again from client to client. Sometimes some clients, they want just a black colored clothes with a blank design, nothing to be done in that. So yeah, it's like kind of mentality from
Okay.
one person to other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Asiya, why do you feel there's a need for adaptive clothing?
Oh, adaptive clothing actually allows those living with disabilities, whether they're older adults and anyone without the full range of motion or dexterity to dress oneself. I think if someone is recovering from the injury or surgery, they too may want to wear adaptive clothing during their recovery. I mean, it's not only for people who are actually into disabilities. I feel like, even if, God forbid, you had some surgery or something, we all want to be able to wear comfortable and fashionable clothing, no matter what actually the situation is. Yeah.
True.
Absolutely.
True.
Good point. Could you give us and our listeners a few examples of some of the clothing adaptations out there?
Okay, there's so much things which we do basically with these adaptive clothings. I mean, it was from my own experience. They should be fashionable. They should be comfortable. I mean, easy to put on and take off. Like allows for greater independence. Independence is very, very important first of all. So basically, these people, they first of all, my client always say, I want to be independent. So I think it allows for greater independence and easy closures like hidden magnetic closures, magnetized zipper bottoms, easy to grab zipper pulls. Velcros are amazing. They're doing wonderful job if you like, it's just kind of hidden only, but then it's easily opened and closed. Elastic bands are there for the shoe closures also. It's very important for them for the shoe wear. So we use elastic closures and designed for individual with the prosthetics, I mean like adjustable pant lengths, hems, magnetic closure pant hems, magnetic cuff closures. So these things are doing wonders in these adaptive clothing, like specialized zippers, magnetic base catch with the ring pull off hand zip, side closures. So yeah, greater freedom of movement actually, stretchable fabrics, and closures along shoulders. Yes, that's also very amazingly doing so. Soft, the fabric should be like comfortable. It should be very soft to touch because sometimes there are some kids also who are autistic. So, they're having the allergies sometimes. So they're not comfortable for fabric. So we should use the comfortable fabric, no tags for autistic kids or visible seams, adjustable waists. So they can easily removed from seated position if they're sitting. Side zippers also Velcro magnetic closures like sometimes high back also open back designs. They love open back designs if a person is actually paralyzed. So sometimes open designs are doing wonders. Adjustable waists amazing doing because whenever they are going to use their washrooms also if you have the adjustable waist it's like amazing and sensory friendly is also one of the most and biggest point, like less or no seams, no labels, soft fabrics, wide waists, I mean like gentle compression. So yeah, this is giving such a good feel for a person having any kind of disabilities. And other than that, so opening for ports. I mean, insulin pumps are there. There are surgical drains. A person is hospitalized, and there are catheters, like hanging here and there. So one piece garment, which appears to be two pieces. Sometimes we make it like two pieces also, and we adjust the lengths also, like sleeves or pants, any kind of operation they have that through, and then. Loose fittings are also sometimes very important because the person is having injury or something, so a cloth should not touch the wound and all. So pockets, surgical drains, sometimes hot monitors. These all things are doing wonders in adaptive clothing, right? Yeah.
It sounds like you do an awful lot for your patients, and I'm sure that they are very appreciative. That's amazing. Can you tell us about your involvement with the Dubai Modest Fashion Week's Fashion for Good project? That sounds incredible.
Yes, actually in Dubai Modest Fashion Week, they have Fashion for Good project, which is a platform for people who are contributing to society in a good way to make their world a better place to live in. So I was honored to collaborate with them to showcase my ideas and talent to the world. So I would love to be associated with more events like these in the future as well. So, and I participated in Dubai Modest Fashion Week to prove that these clothes can be worn by anyone, whether you are a runway model or a people of determination. So yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. I don't see very many. We watch a lot of fashion shows, and modesty isn't typically.
No. I mean, it actually it stands out when someone takes that into consideration,
Yes.
and you can tell that they are thinking in a more dynamic manner.
Right. In a global manner.
Yeah, more globally. Yeah.
Asiya, what fashion designers or fashion companies inspire you?
Yes, it's now great. I mean, to see there are lots of brands are coming with adaptive clothing. Like there's Leafy Johns, Anara, Zakurli. I mean, like Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy Adaptives also. I think IZ Adaptive and Zappos. Yeah, I think suppose if I'm correctly speaking it like. And then there's Your Mom. They all are doing very well in creating adaptive, fashionable designs. And I really love that people should come more forward and, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking right now, I wonder if there is anyone out there, there might be, that is doing adaptive clothing for former military. Jean and I are former military, and we have interviewed several military members. One in particular stands out, Travis Mills, who is a quad amputee.
Well, like you were saying, you can incorporate, adjustable lengths on pant legs and sleeves and
Right,
things
because
for
they start
prosthetics.
out with, I remember he said that he started out with short legs, so they could have a shorter length, like a removable.
Yep, it sounds like she
yeah.
does all of that, which
So-
is just, it's fantastic.
Right. All you have to do is change to a camouflage pattern, huh?
I don't think you have to wear camouflage when you're out of the military.
No, but people like it.
Okay.
Okay, well, back on script.
Yeah, sorry.
Asiya, what has been your biggest challenge in designing adaptive clothing?
Actually, for me, people differ and have different preferences when it comes to clothing and fashion. Some have specific requirements with the clothes being tailored for them according to their needs and preferences. For instance, autistic children have sensory integrations issues, like some kids don't like the tags in the clothes, which constantly bothers them. Some have a liking for a particular texture of cloth. Hence every individual, disabled or not, wants to look good and presentable. So making them look presentable with clothes that are easily usable for them is where I am quite challenged, being a designer, right? Yeah.
It sounds like you're making bespoke adaptive clothing, which is phenomenal. That's fantastic.
Asiya, earlier you had discussed a lot of different adaptations for the clothing, and that's kind of helped you with your designs. How have those designs of your adaptive clothing been received by people?
Oh yeah, it's like though everybody appreciated my designs in events like Dubai Modest Fashion Week, and I showcased it in accessibility expo in Dubai also. So, but honestly, it is still very difficult to get clients as it's a new thing here, and sometimes it is very difficult to get people convinced about its need and importance. But yeah, speaking about press, like press was very supportive till now, and as my family also very, very supportive. But it takes time, every venture.
Understood. But it's a great thing that you're doing, absolutely.
Asiya, what's the best advice you've ever received, and what advice do you have for someone who's just starting a new business?
I think the best advice I received from my husband. Very supportive. He's very supportive. I mean, he was like very supportive during all my journey, and the best advice was that not to give up on a new venture, as it takes years of hard work to make your innovative ideas to come to light. For someone starting a new business, I would like to pass on the same advice that my husband gave me.
Just stay the course and it'll come.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what is next for you and your company? What's the next step?
Oh yeah, it's still not a company, and making it a company, is still miles ahead where I stand now. So my next step will be to make people more aware about my innovations by participating in programs like yours.
Yes, yes.
You're so supportive. So which shall catapult, I think, and my venture in a different league altogether. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, and now to the most important part of the interview. How can we learn more about your clothing line? How can we, how can we contact you to get clothes made?
Yeah, God willing, I am planning to make a website, and as you know, because of this COVID-19, everything has shattered here and there. So I will be presenting master classes of creating adaptive clothes, because I get always invites from different universities of fashion and all. So where people can access my designs and learn about them, where I will be doing this master classes. Till then, I am operating them from my Instagram page only, and
Okay.
in a process to do more, right? Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll make sure that we have links when your website's up and running, and to the masterclass, and to your Instagram page, because I'm sure people are excited and want to, want to buy your clothes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Well, Asiya, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We look forward to hearing more about adaptive clothing and your work in the future.
Thank you so very much for your support. You are wonderful, and having me. Thank you.
Bye, Asiya. Thank you. Take care.
If our listeners have any questions or comments related to today's show, they can contact us at podcastdx@yahoo.com, through our website, podcastdx.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, or even on Instagram.
And if you have a moment to spare, please give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. As always, please keep in mind that this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regime. And never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you've heard on this podcast.
Till next week.